Yo, what's up? A bit late, but I did glance through it a bit. I had to go touch grass real quick. So Ethan looks really good. Let's go through his skills. His S1, he reduce AP, and if the enemy has this new debuff called Panic Gaze, he will also inflict stun. And if he has Magic Tune, which is a buff that he provides, then this effect, the S1 cannot be resisted. The S2 is the one that's interesting one. I think this is going to make him be good in PvP because of the Panic Gaze. Attack all enemies multiple times. Each hit has a chance of inflicting defense down. Hopefully he has 100% on all of those multi-hits, because right now we're kinda down bad on AoE defense breaker that is reliable. Gabriel is not really reliable. I think the best one we have right now is Raven for AoE defense down, and then it goes to Gabriel and then Lin Xiao, I think. So hopefully he is better than them. Each hit inflicts Panic Gaze on its target, causing the target different negative effects based on the type of action the target takes. So the negative effects we'll go through later. The S3 grants all allies Magic Tune and immunity. Allies with Magic Tune get their crit rate, crit damage, and crit resist boosted by a certain percentage and receives a fixed value of speed. This is insane. The Magic Tune buff is so crazy, man. It provides like so many different buffs. After Ascension, if Ethan has Magic Tune, when enemies receive an AP, it will grant Ethan a certain percentage of the same effect. So yeah, Magic Tune increases crit rate, crit damage by a certain percentage, increases speed by a certain amount, reduces the chance of taking crit damage by a percentage. So he gains AP when enemy gains AP, so I think he's gonna be really good against Jin Yu Yao. So every time you put a debuff on Jin Yu Yao, he is also going to get the if you put a debuff on the enemy ally, aside from Jin Yu Yao, then he is also going to get the AP because Jin Yu Yao keeps getting the AP. So the Panic Gaze, when the carrier casts basic abilities, remove Magic Tune from the target. This is a bit weird. When the carrier casts basic abilities, so the enemy with the debuff casts S1, removes Magic Tune from the target. This might be a bit weird, but when you look at the bracket one, won't miss and cannot be resisted. So what does that mean? I think it's either removing Magic Tune from you. So if the enemy with the Panic Gaze attacks you, then it's going to remove the Magic Tune. So I think the Magic Tune either is going to be a golden buff or a silver border buff. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a normal buff without any rims, and deals true damage to the caster based on the carrier's max HP. And this one is so weird, man. I don't deals true damage. Who is receiving the true damage? Am I receiving the true damage, or is the enemy receiving the true damage? Because it says deals true damage to the caster. So is that the enemy? Based on the carriers. The carriers is the enemy because he bears the debuffs. So this is a bit weird. It won't kill the carrier. So I think the carrier is taking the extra damage. It depends on how much max HP it's going to be. If it's like a lot, then I don't know, 10%, then it could be good. Every time they use their S1, they're gonna get like 10%, and maybe 10% is not too much. It has to be a little bit higher. Damage from going against bosses is reduced. Okay, if the carrier casts non-basic abilities or dies, Panic Gaze will be removed from all allies of the carrier, including the carrier, and their ability cooldowns will be extended. Won't miss and cannot be resisted. This is why I think he's going to be meta in PvP. The reason why Nua or Feng Pussy is so goddamn annoying and overpowered is because, well, she does way too much, and also it's because she cooldown increase without any condition. So she has 2 hits of increasing the enemy's cooldown. And if you look at other espers in this game, they need to fulfill some form of condition to increase the enemy's cooldown. Pritzker needs to stun the enemy in order to land that cooldown increase. Zhongnan needs to silence first. Actually, Elliot doesn't need to, but he's single target. And then R2 Raven can increase cooldown if the enemy doesn't have buffs, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, those units, they have condition. Nusi does not have. She straight up just increases your cooldown with 100% chance. So this guy is even crazier. It cannot miss and it will not be resisted. Like, that is insane. If the cleanser uses the cleanse ability or whatever, right, uses the S3 instead of the basic ability, every single one of the enemy is going to have their cooldown increase. I don't know, by 1 turn or however many, but it's irresistible, which is insane. AP reduction changed to 30%, so I think this maybe starting it's going to be 20%, maybe, I don't know. R2 Enchanting Song at the start of combat, all allies gain magic tune for 1 turn. This is going to be like a Cleave counter deterrent or something like that, because this buff, magic tune, gives you crit resist. So anyone that's trying to cleave you, they're gonna have to try and gamble on not critting their hits. And also it gives you speed, which you could actually go first, or even because a speed cleave team essentially needs an AP push. Starting out with the magic tune buff, when the enemy uses the AP push, Ethan is going to get the thingy, the AP as well. So whether the AI is going to start with the S2 or S3, that I don't know. If he starts with the S2, that would be the end of Cleave, I think, because if he starts with the S2, because there is a buff of magic tune on all allies, if he starts with this, then the next enemy move will remove all of them this debuff on them, Panic Ggez. All other enemies will have their cooldowns increase, which is so insane, man. And then the R4 effect is whatever. R6 effect is now the AP boost is changed to all allies they gain 50% of the effect, which is pretty good. This is pretty broken. This is like the ultimate Cleave counter or something, but Cleave is already having a really tough time. So not much, you're not really countering much there. But yeah, he looks really good. Hopefully this buff is a golden rim buff, so you can actually remove it that easily. Because right now it seems like enemies with the Panic Ggez can actually remove it. This one, I'm not really gonna go through them too much. Ame no Uzume has like a skill that increases damage dealt and also healing received, and she gives it to all allies. Very nice. Jinhei or Dokkaebi, she has a stun skill that when the enemy takes a hit, she gains AP. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, so I was wrong about the point war. Knockout is a separate thing. It's kind of like that. If you've played the Battle Royale, I think this is kind of like it. Yeah, and you can also get like legendary Billimon Nexus Crystal and supply vouchers here. It's a completely auto game mode, just like Battle Royale that we had. Point War now has a quick battle feature, which is kind of nice. you know, if you have like an auto team, I don't really have an auto team. I manual most of my fights. I think the best reliable auto team is like a tank team, and a tank team is really pay to win. It's really based on resos. Free to play teams is mostly gimmicky teams, or like control teams, or teams that uses the dude, the paintbrush dude, and also Alexa. So yeah, those are like free to play teams, which is, you know, kind of required for you to manual. Oh yeah, and you can also summon for Ashley in this one. This is a limited time echo event for Ashley. You can use your wish stones for Ashley. I don't know if I can recommend that with the anniversary coming soon, so probably skip Ashley. I mean, she's really good, but anniversary is coming up. Ashley is not really needed unless you were trying to run a Cleave comp in RTA, or not RTA, Point War. So yeah, she's not really needed, but she's really good. Oh yeah, and this one, what the hell is this? Lowered the difficulty of all temporal tower floors to give players a better experience with this gameplay. Who was yo, dude, they really like nerf all endgames PvE contents for like no reason. I don't know why. Infinity's Tower has been so easy the past like 3 months. It's been kind of boring. That's why I don't really look forward to it anymore. It was difficult, but it was doable and it was fun. But now it's just so easy that you can basically just use any team and it will work. So yeah, it's kind of boring. Hopefully we get more endgame content that we can you know, try hard on. Calamity Tower is also getting a nerf. This game mode is so boring. Online union shop, there's no changes here. They just changed it to, instead of buying one legendary Pokemon, you can actually buy fragments of it. It's the same thing. I think you get 10 and you can change it 5 times at the cost of 200. So yeah, it's the same thing, but it's a little bit easier for you to accumulate if you're not really into Point War, because spending like 1,000 for one is kind of demanding. You can, with the fragments, you can actually slowly gain it. Maybe sometimes 1 week you can't really get like 1,000, so you can get like maybe 800. You can get like 40 fragments, right? Yeah, that's about it. Ethan looks really good. Look at this, man. I didn't summon for R2 Embla. I don't think she's really good at R1. Sorry, R0. R2 is not really needed. R2 is like speeding through Infinity Tower or something like that, and getting a bit higher score on Sentinel Hunt. But yeah, she's not really needed at R2. That's why I didn't summon for her. She's at R0. R0 is definitely worth it if you are into Sentinel Hunt. If you're not, then completely skip. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. I have 200 of this. Goddamn. I can straight away go for like Ethan. I'm gonna have to see his cooldowns and his turn. How many turns is the buff? If it's like only 1 turn for the magic tune, then I don't think it's worth it. It has to be at least 2 turns of immunity and magic tune. Then I think it will be okay. And the cooldown, I think, cannot be any higher than 5 turns. I think 5 turns is already way too long. I think it has to be like 4 turns for this buff to be useful. I mean, it's already really powerful. Crit rate, crit damage, speed, and fucking crit resist. That's kind of insane. But yeah, he also has that debuff, which is gonna deal like true damage. But yeah, it's not really about that true damage. If that true damage is a lot, like maybe 20%, 15%, 20%, I think it's okay. 10% I think is a bit too low, because then you would still have to run the clock in Point War and basically wait for the healing to be nullified for you to do anything because of the cancer tank meta. But 20% maybe could do something. But yeah, the big thing is increasing cooldown cannot be resisted. That's I think the biggest factor to the debuff. So yeah, I think that's about it. really cool update. Good thing that they didn't change point war to be auto exclusive. Really solid. These two are also really good, but I don't want to make the video too long. Yeah, that's about it. Ciao.